Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the MCN for Friday. Hope you're having a lovely day thus far, or kicking it off, because you know a lot of times this goes out in the morning for people. So, yes, I'm wearing a cap, different cap than the floppy hat. I will be changing back into this. No, I'm not really a cap fan. This is from the Battleground Brawl. Shout out to Brandon who got me a set of swag from Battleground Brawl, including the old cap right there. So yes, I had somebody on the inside when it came to Battleground Brawl. But yeah, it was nice to see stuff. This is actually I think I said before, it's the second person that's delivered stuff, and Kabam, I thought were going to be sending me something, but didn't. But it's okay, you know. There's really kind of decent people in this community that you know, got my back when it comes to these things. So shout out to Brandon and obviously John as well, who sent through some stuff from that. But okay, Road to the Crypt. We are up to 9.8 mil. By the time this video is out, it's probably going to be an announcement of this being higher. Of course, this looks like it puts us well over the 10 mil slot. And of course, it's going to be an important question, actually important two questions, I think, for a lot of people. Number one will be, when does it actually theoretically end on the January 15th? Yeah, there's a specific time. And the second one will be, where are we up to with the trajectory as to, if we do a completion of Necropolis, what extended extra Titan Crystal Shards volumes are we likely to get at the end of it, or theoretically? So, we can answer that. I can answer that. We have got to DNA 3000, give it like, if anybody doesn't know the band Bros or that song, you probably have no idea what that reference is. Anyways, so DNA 3000 has the information for us, saying I've double checked with the devs and the official end to Road to Crypt is at 10 AM Pacific time, January 15th. So for those in the UK, that is 10 AM PST. That's not 10 AM PST, of course it's 10 AM. For the others in the UK, 6 PM UK time. European time, but I don't know, it could be anything between an hour to 2 hours later than that. So it could be like 7 PM, 8 PM their time. I think that's how it works out. Time. It's a thing. So get your grinding in. Of course, not very good for those in certain other countries. I think, is it Asian countries suffer from that kind of like, is this very early in the morning time frame? I can't remember. It's one of those things. But yeah, that's kind of gives you a bit of an idea on that particular subject. But also really cool because DNA 3000 also does a bit of the trajectory update for us. So this was relevant as of January 10th. So we get a bit of an idea that we are coming in at, yeah, that's going the right way. So and again, we've got to blow this up. We've got to Kowalski magnify. What's that? 11th. 11, 12. Sorry, I'm just trying to like give us a bit of a kind of a figure out here. So by the trajectory, by the very substance of things, I'm probably looking at the wrong thing. It's like, is this meant to be like 10 mil 600,000, 10 mil 800,000? So we might not reach 11 mil. That's kind of where I think that DNA 3000's kind of giving us a trajectory, saying it's now unlikely, based on the amount of people going for it, that we might not reach it in time. So that's a little bit kind of like sad, but hey, these things happen. And to micro news story number 2, this is all about the change in Battlegrounds. So I don't know if anybody noticed this. Yes, maybe no, and that is that Kabam changed the Battlegrounds the nodes. So it's like, as Kabam Jack says, we encountered some errors with the Adamant Axion buff in Battlegrounds, so we've swapped it to Force of Will. I'm sure some people will notice this and some people won't. It largely depends where you are at the moment with it. I mean, for me, I'm trying to focus more on Necropolis, so that's taking much of my time and efforts and consideration, which is kind of which is annoying. I think this is going to be a very stressful month MCOC wise. Once I've got Necropolis 100%ed, then I can start sorting out my champions, my roster, my relics, my 7-star stat focus stuff. Like it just, this is the problem. I knew that I'd feel a little bit stressed about the game, and I'm trying not to kind of like, I'm trying to like make sure I'm planning stuff and not kind of making too many videos or kind of in-depth guides as I normally would have started doing. because the game, you know, you cannot let it stress you out. You need to have time to chill with it. But of course, you know, people are going to notice these changes, and of course, MCN is very up high with the competitive scene of Battlegrounds. Has noticed it and says, so you cannot fix the previous node bug and instead added a completely new node that fully invalidates several major attackers. So we made rank ups based on the nodes you provided beforehand, and this change is really disappointing to say the least. I mean, look, this is the problem, isn't it? Kabam are in a bit of a tough situation with the matter, and this is the thing, like I definitely see where the player base is coming from. If Kabam did take action against this, they might be like, well, what do we, is this a very quick reaction to put something in? Yes. Would they have had to potentially take down Battlegrounds if they felt that they couldn't make any kind of substantial changes? Maybe. And would we have wanted that if they did that? So I don't know if Kabam made a quick, hasty decision, or something that they could have, I don't know, made it just go for about 24 to 48 hours whilst they thought of something that maybe fit or fixed the current issue as it was. But yeah, like of course, the context, the extra context to this stuff is interesting to understand stuff. So from Barrowman's perspective, obviously it's high up with the Gladiator Circuit, and the competitive field says this is a really big change though. After the change, Tigra does not work at all, nor Black Cat, nor Wiccan, and several other champs. I ranked or ascended all those champs for the season, and anyone who takes Battlegrounds seriously will have a similar problem to some extent. So yeah, look, it's always important to kind of like, there's always difference of opinion and stuff. We victory track plebs don't care. Change it all you want before we wait to get to GC during the last week. Still just doing my objectives. Okay, well, and obviously there's always difference of opinions with stuff as to where people are at the game, but meh, forums, you're never going to win people over with it. But look, do you feel affected by this? Put it in the comment section. How is it affected? Have you ranked up champions specifically for this? Because that, again, is the problem. This goes back to something that I said a very long time ago with Battlegrounds, and something that obviously Kabam need to understand. Like, players will rank up champions for Battlegrounds. Maybe in the short term for nodes for that particular season, or in the long term with, you know, continuations and more that come from nodes in the future. So look, you invest, but a Kabam saying that now ranking up a champion is a risk as to what your purpose of use is. So I don't know, weird times ahead. Next up, let's move on to the plight of a player. So I saw this and actually felt quite bad for this particular player. I don't know if anybody's been particularly helpful with this, especially kind of like feeling it's a bit of a, well, I don't know, people are people, aren't they? So I'm really bad at fighting Titania. I knew I would be, like, really bad, but I knew I had to at least try, because now I have a massive surplus of revives. I read posts saying try banking at 100 to 150 hits, and after an hour of restarting constantly, getting nowhere near close to that, I thought I'd just start. I was only getting 50-ish hits on average, so I just said screw it and started banking. I already used up 14 revives still on Titania, and then the muscle motor memory took over when I died one time, and instead of hitting revive, I hit that lovely little restart button. Oh, that is bad. Well, at least he did it then and not further on. I've been so worried I might do that. I feel so defeated, like an absolute insane loser at this point. I'm so bad at this, and it's not even worth trying. It's always worth trying. It's always worth trying. I'm guessing you're using Aegon. What rank and Sig? What is your revive unit count? Keep practicing if you get a good run. Yeah, no, that's definitely it. I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it. That's nice. I'm really struggling at this fight. It gets longer though to remember if I've activated the combo shield before or not. But the runs like this, I guess better to be safe than sorry, and especially at low health. Yeah, I would say to anybody doing it, it gets better. It does get better. It may feel really bad at the start, but it gets better after a while. As soon as you got one fight down, the case is just a slog. And as I've said, the most enjoyable thing about Necropolis is the end boss. That is so strange, but it's like it is. I look forward to the Grandmaster fight. It's such a weird thing. But yeah, this is as of like this. So this is a fresh thing. Man, the rooted keeps screwing me up. How do you guys pay attention to it and notice when it's under 50%? The game doesn't do anything to tell you besides the number that you have to look constantly. In addition to all those other things, I've had plus 100 combos. Though now 3 times where they activated a special, I got rooted and died, losing my combo. I know it's my fault, but I did. You counter this. People say, yeah. Anyway, there's more to this that meets the eye. Yeah, pay attention to the icon color. It will change from white to maroon when the charges drop under 50%. It's always a very difficult thing. Guys, help him. We want him to run out of revives after we want him to wanted to run out of revives after Titania. What? Surely we want him to complete it. It adds more deaths to the road to the crypt. Anyway. Oh, it's good. Now he's at Arcus. Thanks everyone for your encouragement and tips. I screwed up quite a few times and lost my bank. But obviously it still did health chipping away at her. So now I'm worried my rank up is super slow to what it should be. Does anyone have a screen cap to the fight? Keep at it. Keep at it. Whoever this person is. Usig Cassidy. I don't know if there's a Usig Cassidy. Anyway, that's the thing. I finished Darkest 18 revives at 909 combo now. Okay, cool. Right, where is he at to? Where was he at to? And the final update thus far is, well, he's taking a break. He got up to Wiccan, and that's when he's stopping right there. It's fair play, you know, it can be a bit stressful, and this is why people go out to revive farm, because it's like, this is the kind of turmoil that it puts people through. This kind of stress level it puts people through. Thanks, Kaban. If you want to check up on where this player's at, go and check it out in the link in the description. We wish you well. And we end the show on Brian's special title. That doesn't sound like anything weird in any kind of way. Yeah, I was really interested about this special title that Brian got for using the most revives and helping out for the road to the crypt. No, so the story behind it, because I'm interested with like the lore behind it. What happened was Brian was joking about the idea of an all-duck run in November just for fun. Submitted a title request to our team and told him if he was serious about it, there was a custom title waiting. I honestly didn't think he would do it, but I'm very glad he did. It was great content. Yeah, well done. Well done for kind of like for sticking it. I don't know why people like putting themselves through that amount of torture. I don't know if it's kind of a thing where you'd hate yourself that bad that you were willing to kind of like thrust yourself through that much pain just for the sake of it. But content, of course. This title is Brian's for the first Ducks only run. If we make this something everyone can get, this completionists will feel obliged to do it, and nobody should feel obliged to do something like this. Well, yes and no, because it is something like it's like achievements in games, and I'm not saying that we do have achievements in games. We've got progression titles and things like that. But then what about like, you know, just putting some very rare titles like Warbound? Like one day I really want to do Warbound, but you've got to pick the right arena to do that or commit to that, and the time to it as well, because time is probably the most thing. And I just, for me, a lot of the time it's like I just can't warrant the time. I don't hate myself that much that I want to throw myself through something so laborious. But look, for other people, they like it, and fair play. You know, like whatever you like, do whatever you want to do. Of course. But of course, I want to give Brian massive thanks for submitting nearly 200 revives to the cause of, yes, you can see indeed that was it. That was it. There was 196, I think it was, revives to the cause, which was great. But I can imagine it was very stressful. Although all those revives could have probably paid for like another run or so. But well, you know, as I said, like it's obviously fun. It's a fun thing. It's a thing, you know. So go and yeah. And I'll leave a link in the description if you do want to go and check out the 9 hours it took to do so. So yes, happy watching, everybody. That's been the show for today. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video, whatever and whenever that will be. Have a great day. Bye bye.